we were just talking about how the Ukrainians have made rapid gains and advances in the region of Kharkiv, and there's also heavy fighting in Kherson, but the loss and the defeat for Russia is so big that there is now a petition calling for Putin to resign, and this is from France 24. They're saying that a petition calling for Russian President Vladimir Putin to resign has been circulating in Russia since Monday, with dozens of local politicians risking prison sentences to sign it. France 24 spoke to Ksenia Torstrem, who's a municipal deputy for St. Petersburg district and one of the leading petitioners demanding Putin's resignation. So it was initially signed by 19 local elected officials and published on Monday. Contains a brief text that condemns Putin's invasion of Ukraine and demands that he step down. They say, why did you choose to launch a petition against Putin at this time? And this official is saying, we wanted to express our support for our friends who are from St. Petersburg district and called for Putin to be tried for treason. They're having trouble with police now. And they're up here, they're saying that you have 19 who signed it initially, and down here, another 84 signatures have been added. Okay? So 19 up to 84 signatures. They're asking them, isn't this dangerous? And their answer is, there's nothing that prohibits it. There's nothing that prohibits it. You know, this is very troubling, because you have, on the one hand, these officials, you know, moving against him. And on the other hand, you have Kardyov, so the Chechnyan leader who's fighting with the Russians, criticizing the defense officials and the strategy, because the losses in Kharkiv are so big. You know, you have people saying, oh, it's the fall of the regime and they're going to get Putin and all this stuff. I don't know, man. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? But I think it's very interesting to see this dissent. It's very interesting because you didn't have it before on this level. You didn't have that. I think this phrase that's been going around, there was someone saying that this loss of territory in Kharkiv, but you know, it's the biggest defeat for the Russian army since World War II, since December 1942. When you put it that way, I mean, it's very big. And it's, you know, it's normal that you're going to have people trying to cover it up by saying, well, look, this was a calculated decision. We wanted to retreat and withdraw our troops on purpose so we could put them elsewhere. Maybe it's true. You guys remember a few months ago, the Russians were outside, you know, on the outskirts of Kiev, of the capital. You remember this? I can pull up a map for you from then. And they ended up leaving. Do you remember this? Yeah, here you go. So you can see the transition April to May. This is what happened, right? So the territories here in dark blue, almost gray, right? These are regions reclaimed by the Ukrainian army. Okay, so this was basically April, May, and the Russians were saying that they did this on purpose so they could move them elsewhere. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what the defense ministry says, what they announce, what their version of the story is, what Putin says. But I think that's going to be their argument, that they did this on purpose and it was calculated and so on. Could be true. Especially the telltale sign for me is the equipment. You know, when you have an army that is being pushed out by force, you will always find equipment left behind and equipment that's been destroyed and abandoned. The fact that the Russians actually took all of the equipment with them, or most of it, shall we say, shows that they weren't exactly on the run. You understand what I'm saying? So let's wait and see what happens. I'm also interested to find out what's happening in Kherson. But this situation in Kharkiv is certainly interesting, and I'm most interested in the war crimes or alleged war crimes, because again, when you bomb public infrastructure like electric and water power stations, this is you cannot do this. You cannot do this. And if it's true that the Russians did that, I think, you know, it would be very hard to say that it's not a war crime.